Good morning. Right side of the news with Nick Gardner, the one and only. I just missed you at Mike's yesterday.
Mike,
the guy that you do his windows. I'm not going to throw his name out there.
the graphic designer.
Yeah. Anyways, I stopped in and seen him yesterday. He does a bunch of graphic stuff for me. And he goes, "Oh, you just missed Nick."
Hey, we got a bunch of new stuff coming up. One of them that caught my eye this morning, the FBI has admitted that they had 275 FBI agents at the J6 rally.
Yeah, I believe it. I was there. I saw a lot of stuff that was going on.
Do you think that the FBI was involved in getting the crowd out of control, or were they there to control the crowd?
They were. It was absolutely a false. In my opinion is that all the things that have played out after it, and you look at Trump asking for extra National Guard and all that kind of stuff, and it was all, denied. If you look at the fences that were put up there, and then you look at people like that, I'm trying to remember the tall guy who's in all the videos of egging people on. Now, okay, so I'll tell you about experiences that I had personally that I can tell you that wasn't on video. There was, we were there the night before at, I don't know if you call it Times Square or not Times Square, but something, Speaker Square, something like that in Washington, D.C. Michael Flynn was there talking. There was a lot of people, very big name people there talking. We went there. It was awesome. They were all getting everybody all jazzed up. Nobody there was calling for any kind of violence or anything. It was just exposing corruption and stuff like that. Well,
but they had a gallows there. How'd that gallows get there?
I'm not quite sure.
They had videos of them hauling it in about midnight.
Yeah.
Put together already.
Yeah,
it was all a setup.
Yeah. So, well, check this out. So, there were some guys there, and I had a couple friends with me, and they said, "Hey," they go, "Let's go down to Times Square." Not Times Square. Why do I say that? Black Lives. There was a Black Lives Matter hotel where they have it painted out in the road. Black Lives Matter. Okay.
Oh yes. Okay.
And I'm just getting my words going right now because I just got up kind of late. But anyways, they wanted us to go to this hotel, go up into the rooms, and drag the Black Lives Matter people out into the street and stomp their heads into the concrete, curb stomp them, all this kind of stuff, right?
Who wanted you to do that?
Some random people. They were actually...
and they were wanting you to be involved in that?
They asked me and my friends.
Really?
They were like, yeah, this is...
They're instigating, trying to get you to follow their direction.
So while these speeches were happening, there was provocateurs trying to get people pumped up. They were saying, we got to do this. We got Ray Epps. That was the guy, the name I was trying to come up with.
He was an instigator.
I saw him in person too. He was there the night before trying to talk people and talking about going into the Capitol and all that. I'm telling you, there was all these people that were trying to instigate people to do things that are just stupid. And I'm like, really, I wasn't there to try to go and smash anybody's skull in. I was there to exercise freedom of speech, show civil disobedience, right? And that's what 99.9% of the people were there for. And if I was going to do something like that, wouldn't you do it? Why would you march up into some hotel and drag people out of their rooms on camera and do something like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense, So absolutely 100% it was a setup, and they wanted to use that not just to divide the left and the right, but be able to pass more laws and show this anybody on the right is an insurrectionist, right?
That's right. Absolutely. That's disgusting. Last night I looked up Nepal to see what was going on over there. Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not.
Nepal has kicked out their government. They've turned it upside down, and it was Generation Zers. Nepal has got so authoritative that they tried to ban Facebook, WhatsApp, and X. And the young people said, no mas, we're not doing that anymore. And they've booted them out. Well, that's the same thing Biden was trying to do. What'd he call it? Truth in media? They're going to decide what you can hear and what you can't hear?
Oh, yeah. And that's the scary part about this whole thing is whether it's on the left or the right is just freedom of speech. Now, threatening people saying, I'm going to, come and take your ass out, that's not freedom of speech.
That's conspiracy. I'll bet that's against the law.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say I'm going to effing kill. You can't threaten people. That's not freedom of speech. But when we're talking about exercising freedom of speech, they'll use both sides for totalitarianism and taking away the First Amendment from all of us. So if you ever cheer on taking away freedom of speech in the name of people that said something bad against Obama or bad against Trump or bad against Charlie Kirk or bad against Malcolm X or whoever it is.
Well, you've got to watch out for slander. You've got to make sure what you say is true.
So Gavin Newsom actually has a bill on the books, SB 771, that he's got to sign, which would have penalties for social media companies if they do not mitigate free speech.
I saw that this morning.
Yeah, they can't. It's kind of like they can't outlaw guns. So they just tax the heck out of them and make it super hard to buy and tax the ammo and background checks. They can't just come out and say, we're going to ban all the guns and the ammo because they know they'd have a rebellion.
Well, they would if they could, if they thought they could get away with it.
Absolutely. They would if they could get away with it. 100%, Nick.
Yes. They just passed some kind of ordinance in Shasta Lake City about people using bad language and misbehaving at the meetings up there, that they can give them the boot and they can't come back in. I wonder who that was directed at. I think it's maybe that, in my opinion, that gal that speaks 6 or 8 times at the county supervisors meetings, and she goes on for about 20 seconds before she starts ranting against Kevin crying what a dirty, rotten, low-down polecat coyote he is. And I'm going to, Kevin's having a coffee this morning from 8 till 9, and I'm going to go down and ask him, why couldn't the county do something like that? I am so sick and tired of hearing the same people get up there and bloviate about things that aren't true. It cost us millions of dollars to get rid of the Dominion machines. Well, at the end of the day, getting rid of those and getting the heart and the money from Facebook, we're up ahead of $500,000.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, just like
that's freedom of speech. To them, it's freedom to lie.
Yeah, 2 ROVs ago, she said that we had needed 1,300 extra employees, and it was going to cost this many $1 million to be able to hand count.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
And I did the math on it, and it was like 68,000 people voted on that type of election, which you have primaries and presidential elections. There's different trends. Most people vote when there's a presidential election.
Yes.
A little bit more, but
that's why they've got this 1 cent tax on this one. They're banking that the only ones that'll vote's the liberals. The conservatives will stay home. But
well, you better get your butt out there and vote, because we don't need. This is a slippery slope. We don't need any more taxes. We need fiscal responsibility with our.
Yeah, but getting back to 2 ROVs ago, and it was going to take 1,300 people.
Yeah.
I heard that she was going to have to go to different counties to get old women out of the old folks' home to come and count.
Oh yeah,
that's why it took so long. I went up there to the ROV and watched them briefly. And I couldn't believe the people that were in there running the election, counting the ballots, checking the signatures and everything.
I saw so many mistakes.
Oh, and they were, I made the suggestion we get high school kids in there, not a bunch of old people that can't count.
Yeah. Get a bunch of high school kids in there that don't even care about politics, that could care less who wins or loses.
That would get them involved in our election process. And they would do a good job. Get them in there for an hour apiece, extra credit. And this is why we have a free country, because we can vote in our leaders. Which, Doug Junkie and I have an argument once in a while. I think we had an argument here last time when he was on. We have good arguments. He says, to heck with these liberal cities, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Chicago, Baltimore. They elected him, let him go down. I got to wondering, do you suppose they really elected him, or do you suppose those elections are maybe slanted, cheated? That's the big word I was looking for. Bunch of cheaters putting the liberals in there and ruining our cities.
We don't know. Now,
I have a very strong suspicion.
I could give my opinion that I don't think that there was such a high percentage of people that in the Gavin Newsom, for instance, his recall. I mean, he won by 75% or 73%, or I don't remember what it was, but so I just couldn't see him having that much support. And it's very highly unlikely that they are not manipulated, but because we don't have free and fair elections, I say we don't know because we don't know. There's no real data to go off of.
So if we go with Clint Curtis's election process, I believe we will know. We will have a feeling that our elections were honest, at least a hell of a lot more honest than what they've been.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I don't think there's any perfect system in anything for the most part. There's always a chance of error, whether it's a machine or a human, but if it was 99.9% accurate, I could live with that.
Well, the way I understand it, they're going to count the votes, hand count them.
Yeah.
Then they're going to run them through the machine.
Yeah.
And then they're going to hand count them again. How are you going to get any more accurate than that?
No, you're not. I mean, it's.
And if you don't believe it, you can sit in front of the video for a day or two and count the votes yourself.
Yeah, and if you have it on video, that's what I'm saying. There's a backup to the backup, double, triple checked with the backup with the video. And then the only question is, what about the mail-in ballots? What about, there's a lot, no voter ID. There's at least it's eliminating a bunch of opportunities for there to be manipulation, but we still.
But if you suspect there is manipulation, we can still send them to China and let China count them. Well, it's just a thought.
I was thinking about sending my ballot to China and having them sign it for me because I'm just too lazy.
There you go.
So what's up, Nick? What do you got going on?
Oh, I got all kinds of funny stuff over here.
I see
Ilhan Omar.
Oh, yeah?
President Trump said that he talked to the president of Somalia and said he was going to send Ilhan over back to Somalia, and the president said they don't want her.
Now, did you know didn't she marry her brother?
Well, there was always this saying, somebody in high school had a really, really good-looking sister, and the saying was incest is best.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Isn't it, though?
Oh, I'm pretty sure she illegally married her brother to get him over here or something like that. I don't remember the exact thing, but.
She's accused of marrying her brother to get him through immigration to come to the United States.
I mean,
and probably be a citizen now that she is.
Where else in the world could you pull a scam like that and then it just gets overlooked? I mean, even corrupt countries that are openly corrupt would probably not stand for that.
And then I was reading about the federal layoffs. We're going to have 100. Okay, if we don't pass the budget, Trump's going to start firing federal employees we don't need. Kind of like Reagan did with the air traffic controllers. Mm-hmm. Probably if you don't want to come to work, we don't need you, you're fired. That's on top of the 300,000 federal employees that are leaving this year. Going to lose them through attrition. And 154,000 of those accepted the bailout. So they are going to be leaving September 30th. They're cutting down the workforce. They're cutting out the fat.
Yeah.
That's the way I would read it.
Yeah, we got to trim that off. We have to figure out a way to live within our means. Nobody could run a household the way that our government runs the official debt number is way higher than what it says, but we're 37 something trillion. Is it 38 trillion yet? I haven't looked at the debt clock in a little bit, but we got to figure out a way to not just balance the budget, but we've got to get back to owing nothing and owing nobody and having a surplus.
Why don't we just declare bankruptcy?
Hey, I mean, I don't know. That could be an option. I'm not an expert on bankruptcy. Never had to do it.
Hey, Leslie, that's a good segue into the Stephen Miller clip. Let's go with that if you can get it back up pretty quick. Stephen Miller had, he made a speech at Charlie Kirk's memorial that I thought hit the home, especially with, in my opinion, the failed recall crowd at the supervisors' meetings, and probably a whole bunch of these 300,000 people that are leaving the federal government, and the ones that Trump is going to fire if they don't come to work. I think it's April 2nd, or not April, October. So let's hit that. I really like this. This is Steve Miller. I think he's a senator.
The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic.
Secretary of State.
Segue that right on into the failed recallers. They have done nothing. Name them off. All of them suck the government's hind tit. They don't produce. They don't create. All they do is piss and moan.
Yeah, I mean, cry me a river.
Yeah, but people listen to them. And that is for almost all government workers, a big percentage of your teachers. You know, the tax-paying, hardworking American created this country. Those people have taken it over, and they've got nothing that helps our country. I can't see where the failed recallers, any of their ideas is going to help Shasta County. We've got to really knuckle down and make sure that Kevin Cry and Chris Kellstrom get reelected. We get one more liberal in there and everything's going to go to hell again. We're finally getting our footing. We're getting people that want to better our county in there.
They're all Republicans, Nick. They have cards to prove it.
Oh, excuse me. Maybe, perhaps I misspoke. You know, and that was at Charlie Kirk's memorial, and he created Turning Point USA. And the Shasta County Turning Point chapters are planning something big. Save this date, November 1st, 2025. Sign up for updates. Go to turningpointshasta.com. turningpointshasta.com for more information on this. Do you have anything to add to that, Leslie?
It is an event that is ran by the youth for the youth. All the adults that are involved are there to support the youth who have started Turning Point groups. There will be thousands there. And if you go to turningpointshasta.com, it will give you all the email updates as the date gets closer on the event details.
November 1st. Okay. Do they have a forum yet? Are they still trying to find some place to go, or what's the skinny, man?
They have the venue. The venue is huge. The venue is awesome. You got
All right.
Trump on the screen, so maybe I say it's huge, but yeah, it's huge.
That sounds great because you know what? That depending on which source you listen to, I've heard all the way up to 60,000 new people applying to start a Turning Point USA chapter
Yeah.
in the United States here. I
The
hope
state of Oklahoma just announced every single high school in the state of Oklahoma has a Turning Point club.
good. I hope the pendulum hit the top and it's swinging back our way because our country needs it. You know, Trump, he chewed him out at the UN. I don't know if we'll get to that yet or not, but he chewed him out at the UN and let him know who we are, that we don't stand for everything they do. We're not in for their forever wars. And I was really proud of that. I guess maybe we'll go to that clip right now. This is President Trump chewing out the NATO. Go ahead, Leslie. Maybe
Not
I
only
can.
is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number one political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net.
Can I just say how grateful I am to have a president that loves America and actually defends America? They spent over $300 million for just the last year of Biden trying to destroy America by flooding us with illegal.
So, you know, they sabotaged Trump as much as they could at that UN meeting. The escalator stopped right in the middle on the way up. Darn near knocked him and Milena down. They had to walk the rest of the way up. When he got up there to make his speech, the teleprompter promptly quit working.
All by coincidence, right?
And then they turned off the headphones. He asked Milena, he said, "How'd I do?" She says, "I don't know. I couldn't hear you."
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that was all a
That's
bunch of coincidences.
Well, you know what? We need to get out of the UN. Its purpose. It served its purpose a long time ago, and now they're just a bunch of troublemakers, really, and they don't love our country.
Well, they're involved in child trafficking and control. And I mean, if the UN really wanted to make the world a better place, and I'm not saying there's not a lot of good people on lower levels, but the people at the top are just like the WHO, just like a lot of these big organizations. They are put there in charge of controlling things for the puppet masters that run the world.
You know, I was just reading this morning about Trump sectioning off different parts of the world. We have the Western Hemisphere. China has the Asia, and Russia has the EU, European Union. And that is probably a good way to describe it. But then it went on to talk about Mexico and Sinaloa cartel down there. The Sinaloa, it's more or less a county or a state, its population is 3 million. Compare that to Chicago metro area, which is 9.25 million. In the last 12 months, 1,972 people have been killed in Sinaloa. That's 5.4 people per day. Can you imagine that? That's a third the size of Chicago. There's that many people getting killed over there, down there in Mexico, and that's just the one state.
Me and my family were going to go visit a really good friend of mine in Colima, which is I'm not exactly. I don't think it's in Sinaloa. It's in it's down there, kind of. I forget the. Anyways, but he told me. He's like, hey, don't come right now. He goes, there's like these feuds going on with the cartels and people are getting killed all the time. And he's like, and you really don't want to be here if you're American right now. And, you know, kidnappings, and I got blonde hair, blue-eyed kids and stuff like that. He's like, we had it planned for like almost a year. Hey, I mean, come see me next year.
Not a good. I wouldn't go to Mexico now. Sinaloa, it borders the Sea of Cortez, so it's not way down there at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these immigrants from all over the world came through that part to get here to the United States. And it's a spooky place. I said, I believe it was pretty close to 20 years ago, that we should take the military and start at our southern border and walk our way all the way down to Guatemala and clean that mess up and then annex it when we get there. The good Mexican people would welcome us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, God, you got to love Trump blowing dope smugglers from Venezuela out of the water.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Well, he's done it 2 or 3 times, and that's all they tell us about. I don't know what's going on with the time. Are we going to a break here pretty quick? Oh, I got the nod. We're going to go to a break, and we're going to think of something else to talk about.
All right.
Shop Taylor Motors, Collision Center, Jefferson State Diesel.
And our partnership with 22 Salute Coffee, they have absolutely amazing coffee. Their bourbon is absolutely the best bourbon I've ever had. It helps keep the lights on here. If you go to Mountaintop Media and purchase, you save 10%, and the rest of the money goes towards helping first responders and veteran suicide prevention. So you're supporting a good cause, you're getting a good product, and you're helping us keep the lights on here, which we have no outside funding, no government funding, no NGO funding, so it really helps us. Jefferson State Diesel, absolutely the best place to take your diesel in. If you have a vehicle with a diesel, they're absolutely the best. Both owners are on site. They support the community. They always are supporting patriots. And there's absolutely nowhere else I would go to take my truck to get worked on and trust them to do a good job and never scam somebody. And they help us keep the lights on here. They're our number one first sponsor that really stepped up to the plate. I also want to take the time to give a shout out to Taylor Motors. They are an amazing family.
Hey guys, it's me, Jose, better known as Hose B, here at Taylor Motors. We have plenty of used inventories. I'm sure you guys heard it before from me, but I just wanted to let you guys know that when you come and purchase a used vehicles, we're not just handing you the keys. It also comes with that 2-year, 150,000 mile powertrain warranty. That is something larger and bigger than any other dealer will give you driving off. Not only that, we're including a full tank of gas and a free oil change on us. Okay? So when you see something like that on a used vehicle, you just got to look at it. Look at it. It looks so good. So come on down, take a look at all our used inventory, maybe new, either one. I'll be here. This may be here. I don't know. But I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Oh, I'm on. Okay. Hey, we've got big things coming up. Next week, we're going to have, I think it's next week, we're going to have a couple of people on talking about the 1 cent sales tax the city of Reading and Barry Tippin is proposing. And I believe these two are against it. Dale Ball is going to be on this weekend with me with my other show. And we're going to talk about the 1 cent sales tax. A lot of us aren't for it, and we'll be able to tell you why. If you don't know who Dale Ball is, Dale Ball started Shasta some damn thing cleaning up the homeless camps. And he should have a holiday, a city holiday for all the camps he and his crew cleaned up. You're talking hundreds of thousands of tons of garbage. If it wasn't for Dale, they'd still be playing catch up. And so I'm looking forward to that. And, I started looking. Well, first of all, Barry Tippin is retiring. And I hope the door doesn't hit him in the rear end on the way out, because I don't think he's been an asset to our community. I remember, what was it? A long time ago, I wrote it down here too. Jason Miller, it's either August 30th, 2023 or February 15th, 24. Jason Miller was on, and he brought to the attention of everybody, he was on Free Fire Radio, that he had witnessed a bus from, I believe it was Crescent City, dropping parolees off into the city of Reading. And they just came out in the paper yesterday, all of a sudden, that parolees are getting dropped off in our community. You know, they act like this just happened. It's been going on. I've brought it to their attention. Everybody I know has brought it to their attention, and they deny it. It's kind of like, Matt Plummer. Well, the data doesn't show that. Well, the eyewitnesses do. In fact, I sent Matt Plummer the videos, well, not the videos, but the people to contact and find out that these things were going on, and he never got a hold of them. There was a gal named Anna that went to the Board of Supervisors meetings on 4/25/23, and she had witnessed, she had picked up one of the people from San Francisco, a busload of homeless from San Francisco that were dropped off here in the city of Reading. And yet they'll deny that's happening. An eyewitness, this guy, I saw her this last weekend at the supervisors meeting. They did a memorial for Isa Lowe. That's not her first name, but it's pretty close. She was a...
Isaac.
That's it. I knew that. I knew I was close. Anyway, Isaac Lowe. I ran track with her grandson, Clarence Lowe, in high school. Or maybe it was her son. I think it was her grandson. And she got the recognition she deserved. She represented the black community when it comes to civil rights and what's right's right and wrong's wrong. And she was a very nice person. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about her. My next door neighbor, Eddie McAllister, he's a big fan of hers. And so we'll go on about that. And then we've got Jimmy Goring. He did his own survey. I talked to a parolee 3-4 years ago down by New Palm, and he told me himself he didn't commit his crime in Shasta County. He'd never lived in Shasta County. They paroled him up here from Tracy, and he was stuck here for 3 years, and he didn't know a soul, and he lived in the brush out there. So this stuff's been going on, and it's just what it appears to me, again, is they've created a problem. Now they act like it just happened, and they've got a solution. So I don't know. We're going to go on about that. But so anyway, listen up this weekend if you get a chance, and for sure listen here 1 week from today. And then to go on from there, we have new information about spraying in our skies. Do you want to take it over here now, John?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to go back. All right. I don't know if many people know about cloaking technology or believe it's real. It's not a conspiracy. I kind of want to start with this video because if I just come out and show the video that I took yesterday, people might be like, oh, man, that's doctored this and that. I don't know how to do that. I took the video I'm going to show is on my phone. I'll get to that. But play this short little video right here. So if you're a non-believer that cloaking technology exists, just go ahead and watch. This is a short 1-minute video. Let's start with that.
在场给大家展示了下半身的消失术。
I'd translate for you, but
Well, I was hoping you would. I don't understand what
no,
he's...
keep playing the video.
So it's more or less a hologram.
Well, it bends light, so.
It's an invisible blanket. It makes you invisible.
Pretty much. So this is, I can tell you right now, this is not conspiracy. We could do a deep dive into this type of technology. That video right there of that gentleman, that's got to be a dozen years old. Now you can see planes fly at 30,000 square feet. 30,000 square feet. I'm talking in gardening now. At 30,000 foot of elevation, you can see planes with the naked eye. If you have good eyes, you can see them. They're kind of small, but you can definitely see them. And I know the elevation of what planes are flying because I've done a lot of flight tracking. There's a ADS-B exchange. Anybody who's into that stuff knows you can pretty much see any plane for the most part. Sometimes military stuff, or sometimes these planes doing these geoengineering projects are not on there. But for the most part, you could look at a plane, go on ADS-B exchange, and click on the plane. It shows where it's coming from, the elevation it's at, and all that kind of stuff. And there's different filters. You can actually take everything off and see nothing but military, which most of the military stuff shows up too. And it's kind of just a fun thing. Hobby. But anyways, go ahead and play this video. This is me with the same exact phone that I just downloaded, airdropped.
You took this yesterday. You don't have training.
This one was from, I'm not quite sure, maybe a couple months. I just scrolled back to show that my phone can obviously see a plane. So this is not the cloaked one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and hit play. This just shows how easy it is to see a jet. Now, I took a video of this one because it's
flagrant.
When they first turn, there it is. You can see the jet. I mean,
if you can't see that, you shouldn't be driving.
All right, now play the next video. You can see that. Okay, now I pulled over. I was driving up to from Caldwell Park, from the right to the new Diesel Horse Bridge, right? They built one parallel right there by the, Lake Redding Golf Course where you on Benton, and you drive. Is it Benton? I think it's Benton. And then you drive across the river and you come up like by the YMCA, right? So this is like right there, right at the top of the hill after coming across the river. And this was flying northeast is the direction this plane is flying. Go ahead and hit play.
Where's the plane?
You can actually see the distortion of where the heat's coming out of the engine on, but yeah, there's no plane there. And this is the second time that I saw this. Now, I showed someone this video and they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's a cloaked jet," and then I showed it to someone else and they go, "Well, was the jet just, like further up ahead?" And I mean, I was there and you couldn't see it. Now, in the beginning of the video, when it goes back to the beginning, go back to the beginning of the video, but don't hit play. Now you'll see right there, you can see there's nothing there. And even beyond the tree, there was nothing there. So about 16 years ago, when me and my wife were first together before kids and all that, I was telling her about all this crazy stuff going on in the world. And yeah, so here's an image. I got on to ADS-B exchange, and there was no planes flying, and that plane was flying. And I did timestamp the video. I screenshotted it. It was that video was taken at 10:52. And I got on ADS-B exchange, and I figured, well, hey, I'll take because it only tells you what day the video was taken, I believe. So I snapped a timestamp. It was 10:52. I took the video, by 10:54, which was probably about a minute and a half at the most later. About a minute. Honestly, it was close to a minute, and there was no planes flying in a northeast direction. And so that cloaked plane, or I would imagine it was a cloaked jet or a cloaked plane. Now, about 16 years ago, like I was saying, me and my wife first got together, and I was telling her about all this crazy stuff. So she started paying attention to the geoengineering. Not very many people were talking about it back then. She's like, man, this guy's, I like him, but he's kind of crazy, is what she thought. Well, then she started paying attention to them spraying. Well, she was going to school in Chico. She came and told me, she said, she goes, I saw a cloaked jet spraying a chemtrail, and the plane, the jet was invisible. And I was like, man, she probably was mistaken, right? I thought she was the crazy one. Okay, then about 6 months later or so, we were at Safeway, the downtown Safeway, kind of, they're both on Cypress, but the one more downtown. We were in the parking lot. There was a plane. There was just like the video I showed, there was a big chemtrail coming out with nothing in front of it. You couldn't see. Now, I actually got pictures of this. This is before the cameras on the phones were really good. And I actually had my camera, it was a Canon, a pretty decent camera in my car. I'd take around with me everywhere, which I don't bring a nice camera because these phones are so good. It's easy to be lazy and not bring a good camera with you. But I took a picture of it coming out, and then I have a picture of it where it's going over the the clouds, and you can see the shadow of the jet on the clouds. And that's when I knew for sure that they are flying stuff around that's cloaked. Anyways,
How do you suppose they cloak a plane? Do you suppose they paint it on there?
You know, they with the amount of money that they have to spend on this kind of stuff. I mean, look at the little Asian guy with that little sheet of little like mirrors, you know what I mean? That guy's probably not like a rich guy. I mean, and so I would imagine what peasants like us could come up with this technology, what, you know, these underground black or what would you call it, these black ops funded projects, what they have. I would imagine it'd have to be, if it's on a jet, probably would have to be, I mean, I don't know if they build the jet out of this cloaking material, paint it, but there's the simplest way that they do this cloaking technology is just redirect the light around it, and that would be fairly easy up in the sky, you know, with the blue. Just redirect the, you know, there's no contrast behind it to really. Well,
those pictures you took, they were taken early in the day because the sky hadn't turned gray yet.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I have seen chemtrails being made. I call them chemtrails.
Yeah.
You call them whatever you want to call them. I've seen them being made, and then I've seen another jet come through them, and it's not leaving one. I'm going, well, how come they've got them and this guy doesn't?
And then how about when it's on, like, and they're leaving a trail of these metals and polymers, and then all of a sudden it just turns off.
Well,
and
they ran out of juice, and the guy's in there changing the keg.
You could actually see him switching the tanks. Absolutely.
Yes.
And so the idea is that it's the temperature and the humidity and all this stuff, which even if all that stuff was aligned, which does leave a contrail, it dissipates. It doesn't go from horizon to horizon. And yeah,
spread out and turn into clouds.
You ever see them just flip a U-turn?
Oh, yes.
They just like flip a U-turn right in front of you. It's almost kind of like in your. Now, why the heck would they be flying these? They do it all day long. But
the thing is, most people don't look up.
Well, I'm saying, why would they use a cloaked jet? Is it just for people like me, just to kind of thumb in the eye? Like,
they're probably, in my opinion, they would be checking out their technology for in case they have to bomb somebody or something like that. Wouldn't that be quite a secret weapon? Bombs are dropping and there's no planes up in the air.
Oh yeah, I mean, and they have radar stealth type technologies and radar jammers, and yeah, I mean, definitely. I just don't know why they would use the cloaking technology on a jet that's leaving a trail of concoction like that. But anyways, whatever. It was, hey, that's anybody who knows me. If you want to see the video, I'll show you.
Well, I got to take my hat off to you. That's pretty sharp picking up on that.
Yeah, I was just driving by and I said, I'm gonna have to pull over and take a video of that. And yeah.
Most people, they can't even bend their head up anymore. They're stuck in that position looking at their cell phone.
Oh man, yeah.
Which is one of the worst things that's happened to our society, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I go on a plane, I'm like the tallest person on the plane, sitting down because I do have kind of a long torso, but people don't sit up straight. And my neck's messed up. If I don't sit with good posture, my neck starts really, really, really hurting me. So these old injuries get me. All right, well, move. I mean, I think most people listening probably know about the geoengineering. Maybe someone out there has seen this cloaking stuff, but yeah, that's a pretty rare one to see one that clearly. So there
I
it is.
imagine there's people out there who'll still argue with you and say that there's no such thing as chemtrails.
Well, I mean, there is, but there's a lot of people that just, it's kind of outside their realm of, if it's not on mainstream media, you know, and if you're not paying attention, you know, it's once you see it, you can't unsee it. But there's different people are smart in different ways and focus on different things. And there's a lot of really good, smart people that don't believe in them. But a lot of people rule things out as a conspiracy before they actually critically think or look into things, you know?
Sure, you betcha. Well, poor James Comey, he's been indicted.
Indicted?
Yes.
And is
he's the ex-FBI
No,
director.
I know who Comey is, and I'm just.
He's indicted for lying to Congress.
Did they actually? Is something happening?
Well, they've
I'm about fed up with the FBI and the DOJ and all
filed a
this.
case against him.
Yeah.
Prosecution. You know, the FBI, the Shasta County Sheriff, the Reading Police Department, they gather the information and turn it over to the district attorney.
Yeah.
The district attorney decides whether they're going to indict them or not.
Yeah.
And they have turned all this information over to the district attorney. Pam Bondi, is that her name?
Yeah.
Attorney General.
Bondi.
Evidently, they have filed an indictment against him. That stops the statute of limitations. They filed it about 3 days before the statute of limitations is up.
Yeah.
In fact, this morning I shipped...
We'll see if anything happens, though, because, you know, Pam Bondi, I don't think she knows what's going on. I don't think she knows anything. I don't even think she knows what time of day it is. I'm not trying to be rude, but...
Well, you are being rude.
Yeah, well, I'm
just teasing you.
Well,
Go
actually,
ahead.
I am. Well, she gets up there and just says whatever, like an airhead, and I don't want to be like that, but I don't think she's the one behind closed doors making the decisions. She's just kind of like they picked somebody that was a good spokesperson, a good talking head, and she just comes out and says, "We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to give you this," and then nothing happens.
Well, now they've indicted him. I hope that's the
my bet.
the dike breaking.
Okay, nothing's going to happen. I don't want to be like that, but I'm going to say it on air. Nothing's going to happen to Comey. He's going to get a slap on the wrist. They're going to probably create some new kind of punishment where they create a new word that didn't even exist to describe the type of law that he broke. You know, they're gonna say like he was. You were tardy for your lunch break.
I can put you in touch with the gal that says he's already been tried in a military tribunal and been hung, and the person that's pretending to be him's got a mask on.
Now, all of them have already been dealt with. All the white hats already. And
that's it.
What have they done, man? I mean, I think that we've got a serious problem.
We're starving for something to get done. Maybe, just maybe, cross your fingers that it's going to start happening.
I know.
This is one of the things that would save our country.
I'm out of patience. You know, how long has the Trump administration been in there? How long have we had the DOJ and supposed control of the FBI and I mean, nothing. They've given me nothing. I've been promised a bunch of things. I've been told a bunch of things are going to happen. There's all this info. Oh, it's going to. I've been getting told by people stuff was going down this weekend for years now. And I mean, I kind of around 2021, I said, nah. I said, no, nothing's happened. It ain't going to happen. I thought Trump was going to do something the first election, the first term.
Well, so did
and then
I.
I try to give a benefit of the doubt. Okay,
I can make excuses for him, but I agree with you.
I thought when he started spending all this money and increasing the deficit like every other president, well, maybe it's just a game plan to, because you got to invest in things to be more efficient. And then now where are we at? We're still, okay, we're cutting some jobs and stuff like that. Okay, RFK has banned some food coloring stuff.
They've got to get it okayed by JFK. He's on the island with Epstein and Elvis and Marilyn Monroe.
What happened to the Epstein files? Okay, I can show evidence of look, it's out there. He has been running since the 80s, okay, that we know about, decades of blackmail on politicians for Mossad. Okay. All right. This is well-known stuff. Okay. What are they now they're coming out saying, well, there really is nothing. It's a big fat nothing burger. What happened last,
it was a something burger here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. There you go, man. There's all this stuff. We're going to give you this big fat juicy burger. And then they feed you a crap sandwich
and tell you it tastes good.
Yeah, what happened to that? And then they just vote, well, we're going to seal the records. We're not going to show you anything. Yeah, we released a video, but we edited it. And but that's normal to have, videos that are missing timestamps. And we don't have a video. We got a video, but it's edited. We have all these gigabytes and terabytes of information now, but there's nothing there. And then us on the right, we just go, okay, yeah, we're going to believe what the FBI says now because they're the good guys now. So we're just going to let them piss down our back and tell us it's raining, and it's okay. There's bigger fish to fry, We've got this leftist that supposedly killed Charlie Kirk. Let's go after the leftist. Who cares about the puppet masters that run the world?
Before you tell us about the Charlie Kirk shot, I want to get this in. I think it's Random House that paid Joe Biden $10 million for his memoirs. Mm-hmm. They're suing him because he doesn't have any memory left.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. I bought one of his son's artwork. It was only $500,000 for, but the problem was I actually mixed it up for this artwork that my kid did when he was 18 months old, and I'm not sure which one is which, and that's the problem. So I knew it had value, but I just
have no taste in art.
And my kid who's 7 now, he can't remember which one he did because he can't remember when he was 18 months. So I called Hunter Biden and asked him, and he can't remember which one is his either. So now,
nobody's offering him money for his memories.
Now it has now it has no value.
I got the biggest kick out of that one art studio. They had a big canvas up there with a banana duct taped to it.
Yeah.
And they called that art. And I think somebody snuck up there and ate the banana.
Well, somebody bought it for a couple million or whatever it was and then ate it. Just to, it had that silver colored duct tape on. It was cheap duct tape too. I mean, they didn't even use Gorilla Tape.
There you go.
I only use the best. In my truck, you'll find a roll of some real strong tape. That was just some cheesy, old school, generic stuff. If you're going to spend a couple $1 million on a banana and duct tape, at least you can use some good duct tape, And but you know what all that is it took me a while to figure it out. It's all money laundering. That has nothing to do with the artwork. And it's all non-traceable. You can do it anonymously. And anyways, that's what it's all about. I couldn't figure it out. It took me I was like, what is up with all this crappy art? I read in the New York Times this art, this crap. And I'm looking at it going, that is crap. There's nobody would buy that. They must be some eccentric, weird people. And then I figured it out. I was like, untraceable. And then just happens to be in Hunter Biden's case, the president's son or senator. I mean, he's been in I wonder if any spying stuff was going on. Anyways.
Then his baby's mama, she got wind of how much Hunter was making from his art, and he got sued for $20,000 a month alimony, not alimony, child support. But then when his art career went to hell, he got it dropped down to about $4,000.
So since I want to get back on the Charlie Kirk thing for just a second. I'm not gonna say that I know what happened because I don't know what happened. But the official story is garbage. The FBI's story is garbage. I mean, you look, this guy supposedly on the roof. Okay, so we're supposed to believe now anybody who has shot a 30-06 or a 300 or even a 270 or even a 243 or even a 223 or a 5.56. Now I'm going down in calibers. A 30-06 is bigger than all the other calibers I just explained. And the amount of power that a 30-06 has, we're supposed to believe that this bullet just magically, I read an article this morning about how it was a miracle that the bullet stopped in Charlie Kirk, because if it would have kept going, it would have killed other people. Now, look, let's not turn a blind eye to the BS that we're being fed, because anybody who knows that what happened on his neck, okay, either it wasn't a bullet or no entry wound looks like that. And a 30-06, man, you could shoot that through probably a few elk, okay? I used to take my 308 out, and I worked next door. I rebuilt Honda and Acura transmissions, and right next door to Wilgus Fire. They're still around. Bill, who owned it, we used to go shooting together. And he had expired fire extinguishers that you couldn't recertify. They were past their lifespan or whatever. We go out and shoot. So I got free fire extinguishers for target practice, man. I took a 308 and I lined up like 10 fire extinguishers. A 308 went through 9 of them and went into the last one. Like, that's a 308. A 30-06 has quite a bit more powder behind it. The projectile is probably pretty similar, a little bit bigger, but I mean, a 30-06 is pretty monstrous compared to a 308. And
I shot a moose with a 30-06. I shot him right behind the shoulders.
Did the bullet stop like an inch into his neck?
No, but I recovered the bullet
really?
On the hide on the other side. It went all the way through him and stopped at the hide.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well,
that's a big animal. That's bigger than a cow. Boy, I'll tell you what. I was up there. I was by myself.
What, you think it went through about 3 feet of meat or something, or 2.5?
I would say 3 feet.
3 feet
went through its lungs.
I mean, yeah, you can see that if it's going through bones, and I mean that is 3 feet of meat is a lot, especially if you're hitting some bones and stuff like that. Do you think it went through any bones, or just where did you? Was it a double lung heart shot, or how'd you?
I just shot him right behind the shoulders.
Yeah. So okay.
Should have hit his lungs and gone.
I'm just going through his ribs. Their ribs are tough.
They're a big animal. Boy,
did it make it through his second set of ribs? Right.
It went all the way through him and stopped on the other side, just inside the hide.
Wow, that's impressive.
When I skinned him out, there was the bullet.
Wow.
So that's where that stands. And I'll tell you what's a job. I was by myself. The other guys had gone fishing, and I went hunting by myself, and I got him, and I had to gut him out by myself. That's a job.
Holy smokes.
I was in pretty good shape. I was cutting timber at the time, but, you got to hold that one leg up with your arm and do your gutting with one hand.
Yeah.
I got it done, but I learned to carry a little piece of rope with me in case that happened again, and it did happen again, and that rope came in handy.
Did you see the high? So my friend texted me. We're texting back and forth, and there's so many conspiracy theories with Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to get in. I mean, people are sending me stuff saying, "Look, the ring changed his finger like he was CGI," and I'm just like,
"Oh my goodness!"
Yeah, well, and then there's this other guy with a brown shirt that he had something between his fingers, and he lifts his arm up, and it looks like it was possible he was using like an old school palm pistol and might have popped him, but. And I'm looking at that going, man, I mean, it looks pretty convincing, but that could be another, psyop. But the official story, I'm just like, and then you look at the guy, the official story is that this 22-year-old kid that was had a furry for a girlfriend. Like, I mean, you watch him jump off the roof and stuff, and he looks like a Navy SEAL, whoever was jumping off the roof.
A Navy SEAL that likes guys.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so what I'm saying is he's supposedly broke down the weapon up there, right? And then, I mean, the barrel was too long to put down your pant. I mean, obviously he couldn't have fit it in his backpack. And then he left his screwdriver up there that they matched the DNA. And then he reassembles the rifle and then leaves it in the woods. I mean, and then they inscribe stuff on the bullets. I don't know. I have a really, it's almost like the story is so unbelievable. They made it so unbelievable that you have to believe it, because it's like if they made a story up, they would have made a much more slick story. I'm trying to wrap my head around it because none of it is believable. From the angle of the shot to the entrance wound looking like an exit wound, the bullet not going through his neck. I mean, okay, I believe you. You say that a 30-06 didn't make it through 3 pounds of meat, 2 sets of ribs, but a bullet went into Charlie Kirk's neck. He's not like...
Well, you would think it'd go right on through.
It's just...
I have to believe that.
Where's the autopsy? And then I was talking about there was... I can show the text messages, but I said right away, because I met Charlie Kirk. He's not like my best friend or anything. I met him. A friend of mine is actually good friends with him. I've been to one of his events. I've been around him a couple times, but I did get to meet him and say hi. He's a very busy guy. I was just like, hey, nice to meet you. And then that was it. I'm not acting like I was his best buddy or anything, but the guy's always got high resolution cameras on him when he's doing stuff. And now you can see all these different videos where there was high resolution camera like directly on him. We're talking super, we're like, where's that footage? Why wasn't there an autopsy? Why wasn't any of the regular protocols followed? I mean, the thing stinks to high heaven.
I think we're about out of time.
All right.
I'm going to leave you with this one last thought.
Yes.
TurningPointShasta.com.
TurningPointShasta.com. It's always a pleasure to
come in and spar with you a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, agree, disagree. I have a lot of fun, and
so do I. I enjoy.
Thanks for tuning in. If you were listening.